Being in the modern forest night allows one to obtain a lifespan trading system, travel through other worlds, and utilize lifespan to enhance their strength. In order to harvest his lifespan in the world of One Piece, he had to mortgage his house for about 1 million yuan, purchase a large amount of supplies, and even go abroad to obtain several Firesticks for self-defense. The first stop is the Revolutionary Army.Sabo. 1,000 pounds of vegetables have a 1-year lifespan, and we sell them for 100 million yuan in reverse. Can you be even more discreet? Dorag said, it's gone, really not a drop. How about I give you the Revolutionary Army and you give me back your lifespan? Lin Ye said, alright, if you work for me, I'll give you a 1% commission. The second stop is the Whitebeard Pirates.Marco. Exchange our 10-year lifespan for Dad's 1-year lifespan. I'll come first. Whitebeard. Gullalala I, the remnants of the old era, have boarded the ship of the new era. Lin Ye. Can you extend your lifespan? You only need 10 years to extend your lifespan for 1 year. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Buying Firesticks and Doing Business Across Time. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sani Kingdom. Latte City, Luxury Hotel, Deluxe Suite. Bang. The black nylon travel bag was placed on the table, making a heavy muffled sound. Lin Ye turned around and locked the door, blocking it with a heavy object. After finishing, he returned to the sofa and opened his black travel bag. I saw long, stick-like objects lying inside my travel bag, emitting a cold breath. Who, finally got it? Whether we eat or drink congee depends on the next period of time. Lin Ye took a deep breath to ease his excitement. Then, according to what the weapons store owner taught, assemble the gun and all 20 types of gun magazines will be loaded onto the door. Click, click. After finishing, his mind twitched. Several guns and the remaining bullets disappeared on the table. At the same time, he also disappeared into place. One Piece World. Baldigo, the Island of Clay. In front of a base transformed from Dabashi Mountain in the middle, a faint light flashed and a figure appeared in front of the base. This is the base of the Revolutionary Army, Baldigo on the White Soil Island. It's really spectacular. Lin Ye stabilized his body and couldn't help but sigh as he looked at the magnificent base in front of him, as well as the white rocks around him. What kind of person are you? At this moment, a tall figure not far away shouted at him and quickly swept over. In less than 2 seconds, he crossed several tens of meters and arrived 5 meters away, holding a short flint gun in his hand, staring at him with a fixed eyebrow. This tall figure is dressed in Western cowboy decorations, with long yellow curly hair and a cowboy hat. Under the hat is a delicate face, wearing silver long gloves and a long light green cloak. Lin Ye was not nervous and looked at the revolutionary soldier with a smile, saying, "Hello, my name is Lin Ye and I am a businessman." Lin Ye. What a strange name. Barney Joe frowned when he heard his name, but he didn't let his guard down. You said you were a businessman, so how did you get here? You should know that this is the headquarters of their revolutionary army, and there are hidden sentries in the surrounding waters. Any ship approaching will be detected in advance. With this location in mind, no businessman has ever come here before. You can understand it as ability. Lin Ye smiled slightly. Don't worry, I have no ill intentions, I just want to do business with you. Barney Joe frowned and stared at him for a few seconds. Stand there and don't move. After speaking, he took out a small phone worm and called out. Less than half a minute. He hung up the phone and put away the phone worm. Lin Ye still maintained a smile on his face and was not in a hurry. The two of them remained silent and waited quietly. 2 minutes later. 3 figures walked out of the huge base. Chief of Staff. Barney Joe respectfully shouted at the incoming person. Sabo nodded slightly, looked at Lin Ye, and smiled, saying, "Hello, I'm Sabo. Did Joe say you're a businessman?" "Yes, to be precise, it's a lifespan merchant." Lin Ye smiled and said. "Life expectancy merchant." Sabo frowned slightly. "That's right, you give me the lifespan, I'll give you the product." "Kid, are you joking?" said the elderly fisherman with yellow skin coldly behind Sabo, "your passbook and karate attire. Is it true or not? After trading, we'll know." Lin Ye was not angry about his attitude and still maintained a smile. Sabo's eyes flickered slightly. "What products do you have? I can get you food, clothing, or other daily necessities, even weapons." "It depends on what you want." Lin Ye confidently said. "I want a lot of vegetables and fruits," Sabo said seriously. "The Revolutionary Army has gradually grown in recent years, and more people are willing to fight for freedom and become revolutionary soldiers, so food consumption is very serious. Weapons are not the key, the most important thing is still food, especially vegetables and fruits, which are the most lacking. Especially the global government's CP department is constantly monitoring them, making it increasingly difficult to purchase a large amount of food. If the other party really has a large amount of vegetables and fruits, as the Chief of Staff of the Revolutionary Army, he naturally wants to fight for it. Sure, for vegetables, the lifespan is 100 pounds per year, and for fruits, 50 pounds per year." Lin Ye still nodded with a smile and said. "Your price is too high, isn't it? You only need to exchange 100 pounds of vegetables for a 1-year lifespan. Who would go and exchange them? Chief of Staff, let's drive him away." Barney Joe couldn't help but frown and say. "Although I don't know how the other party takes away the lifespan, this price sounds outrageous. How much can I do in a year? Even someone who doesn't know how to grow vegetables can still grow hundreds or even thousands of pounds of vegetables in a year, right? Is that all for vegetables? You should know that their revolutionary soldiers eat at least 10 pounds of basic food every day." "That's right, Mr. Lin Ye. Your price is too outrageous for us to accept." Sabo nodded in agreement. "How do you think the price is suitable?" Lin Ye smiled at him. "A 1-year lifespan of 10,000 kilograms of vegetables or 5,000 kilograms of fruits." Sabo said directly. "Farewell." Lin Ye arched his hand and turned to leave. But just as he took a few steps, Sabo's voice came. "Mr. Lin Ye, please wait a moment." He paused and slowly turned around. "Mr. Lin Ye, could you give me a price?" Sabo said seriously. Lin Ye smiled slightly and said, "Mr. Sabo, as my first customer, I can offer you a discount. 1,000 kilograms of vegetables have a 1-year lifespan, but for fruits, only 300 kilograms can have a 1-year lifespan. This is the lowest price, if I can't accept it, I'll leave. And, Mr. Sabo, with all due respect, your Revolutionary Army is a soldier with their heads tied to their waistbands. Tomorrow accidents are unknown, and a short lifespan is not of much value to you, is it?" Upon hearing these words, Sabo frowned and a gleam of brilliance flashed in his eyes. Does the other party actually know that they are members of the Revolutionary Army? Is the other party from the world government's CP department? But the thought of the other party daring to appear alone and openly in front of their Revolutionary Army headquarters is probably not a lackey of the world government. And the following paragraph made him quite agree and felt very reasonable. Their Revolutionary Army is indeed a soldier with their head tied to their waistband, and it is unknown which one will come first tomorrow or in an accident. Or maybe the next battle will run out of life. No matter how long it takes, it's useless. However, he cannot make a decision on this matter alone, as it concerns all revolutionary soldiers. Mr. Lin Ye, please wait a moment while I discuss with the leader. Sabo came to his senses and looked at him, saying. Chief of Staff. Chief of Staff. 3 revolutionary soldiers shouted anxiously. I'm waiting for your good news here. Lin Ye smiled and nodded. Sabo nodded and then turned around to leave. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Over 1,000 years of life in hand. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Within the base. In a spacious and dry rudimentary office. Are you telling the truth? Dorag, who was processing the documents, stopped immediately upon hearing Sabo's words, with a hint of surprise in his eyes. Judging from his confident appearance, this should be true, Sabo nodded. Dorag tapped his fingers on the table, his deep eyes sparkling with precision. Devil's fruit ability. Sabo, what do you think of this deal? He took a look at Sabo. Leader, I think this deal can be made. We are currently too short of vegetables and fruits, and many of our soldiers have contracted scurvy because we haven't eaten vegetables and fruits for a long time. Sabo said solemnly. Well, then discuss with the soldiers at the base. If they agree, then trade and try to trade more. Dorag said seriously. Yes, leader. Later, Sabo left to discuss with the revolutionary soldiers on the island. Half an hour later. Sabo arrived in front of Lin Ye with a group of soldiers besides defending. Mr. Lin Ye, our leader has decided to trade with you. How many vegetables and fruits do you have? It's not about how many vegetables and fruits I have, but how much lifespan you can provide. Lin Ye smiled at Sabo and said, then looked at the group of revolutionary soldiers behind him. A densely packed area with about 500 to 600 people. This made his eyes light up. 500 to 600 people, even if each person trades for 1 year, there are still 500 to 600 years of lifespan. Sent it. Sent it. Suppressing the excitement within, the expression remained calm, making it impossible to see any changes. Sabo saw his calm expression and his eyes couldn't help but sparkle. Take a deep breath. We have a total of 650 warriors here, each trading a 2-year lifespan. We plan to exchange 100 tons of fruits and the rest for vegetables. Upon hearing his words, Lin Ye's eyes lit up. 650 people, if one person has a lifespan of 1 or 2 years, that is 1,300 years of lifespan. A big deal. Sure, do you want vegetables with leaves or without leaves? He looked at Sabo and asked. All right, Sabo said. Okay, then I'll give you some of everything. Lin Ye smiled slightly and then waved his hand. Bang, bang, bang. Behind him, piles of vegetables and fruits appeared on the ground, like small mountains. These vegetables and fruits seemed to bloom with colorful light, illuminating all the revolutionary soldiers in a battle and making their eyes shine. When they heard about this transaction, their first reaction was disbelief. But now, all their doubts and suspicions have been forgotten. Sabo widened his eyes and was extremely shocked. Is it okay to weigh after completing the transaction first? Lin Ye smiled at Sabo and said. The pile of vegetables and fruits he released is definitely abundant. Of course, the weight of potatoes inside will be slightly higher. Sabo glanced at the piles of vegetables and fruits and nodded. Sure. Okay, then line up and come one by one. Lin Ye smiled and said. Then, the Revolutionary Army lined up and he began to reap his life expectancy. After half an hour, all will be collected. Suppressing the urge to check lifespan, he looked at Sabo and said, you can weigh it now. Okay. Sabo nodded. Then someone brought a large scale and quickly weighed it. One thing about the world of extraordinary force is that gravity works very quickly. Quickly, over 400 tons of vegetables and fruits were all weighed. Thank you, Mr. Lin Ye. That's enough. Sabo smiled and approached him. Not only that, but there are also 3 tons more, reaching 420 tons. The first transaction is completed, then let's talk about the second transaction. Lin Ye looked at him and smiled. The second transaction. Sabo showed a hint of doubt. Dragon Claw Fist, Mighty Awakening and Cultivation Methods, Navy 6 Forms Techniques, and Devil's Fruit can all be used to trade with, and the traded items are still the same, vegetables and fruits. The method of cultivating physical skills should be paper-based. He is still an ordinary person now, otherwise he wouldn't have bought a gun for self-defense. But now that a large amount of lifespan has been recorded, it's time to improve your strength. I'll make a phone call. Sabo looked at him deeply for a few seconds and said. Lin Ye nodded. After a moment. Sure, although I don't know why you need these cultivation methods, it's not important. I have already had someone copy the Dragon Claw Fist Navy 6 styles and the methods for awakening and cultivating dominance, which can be completed in an hour. As for the Devil's Fruit, we currently only have one ordinary animal type cat fruit with a colorful giant tiger shape. Sabo returned and said. Well, okay. I'll give you 5 tons of fruit for the cultivation method, and 50 tons of vegetables for the demon fruit. How about that? After some consideration, Lin Ye said. The cultivation method is actually not worth money, even if outsiders get it, it is very difficult to cultivate it. Otherwise, the people who conquered the world and even the Revolutionary Army would have exploded in combat power. There are already a lot of 5 tons of fruits. He needs a paper-based cultivation method, but it is to serve as a medium, so that he can use less lifespan to learn skills. Sure. Upon hearing this price, Sabo nodded in agreement. Unexpectedly, there are 5 tons of fruits in the cultivation method, and the value of 5 tons of fruits is even higher. Not to mention 50 tons of vegetables. That's good. Seeing his agreement, Lin Ye's mouth curved slightly. Then wave your hand. Bang. 55 tons of vegetables and fruits appeared on the ground. Although Sabo had already seen it once, he couldn't help but feel shocked when he saw it again. At the same time, his eyes lit up and he looked at Lin Ye. Mr. Lin Ye, are you interested in joining our Revolutionary Army? If Lin Ye could be invited to join, the development speed of their Revolutionary Army would be greatly improved. Having this space storage capability makes it very convenient to collect materials from various places in the future, and the probability of being discovered by the world government will be greatly reduced. I'm just a businessman, so I won't get involved in your affairs. Lin Ye smiled and shook his head. Just kidding, he's here to do business. If he's so familiar, how will he harvest his lifespan in the future? Not to mention joining the Revolutionary Army. Okay. If Mr. Lin Ye changes your mind, our Revolutionary Army welcomes you to join at any time. Sabo looked at him with a regretful expression. Time passes quickly. An hour later, a revolutionary soldier walked over with a paper cultivation method and a square wooden box. Lin Ye took the things over, opened them, nodded slightly, and then put them in the space. Alright, the transaction is completed, and I should also leave now. He looked up at Sabo. Mr. Lin Ye, how can we contact you if we want to make a transaction? Sabo spoke up. Next time I come over, I will still appear here directly. Well, that's good. Goodbye. Lin Ye smiled and waved his hand. Buzz. The next second, he disappeared completely. Left behind a stunned Sob and a group of revolutionary soldiers. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Awakening the Tricolor Dominance and Eliminating Side Effects. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Sani Kingdom. Latte City, Luxury Hotel, Deluxe Suite. A faint light flashed through the originally quiet room, and Lin Ye appeared. I didn't expect it to go so smoothly and come back so soon. Lin Ye looked out at the newly darkened sky and couldn't help but smile slightly. As soon as he thought of today's harvest, he became excited. 1,300 years of lifespan, great wealth. First, improve your strength and then go earn some money to purchase goods tomorrow. He sat on the sofa, his mind twitching. Buzz. A simple panel appeared in front of him. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 1,330 years, constitution. 10, spirit. 10, portable space. First, improve your physical and mental health to 30. He thought for a moment and quickly consumed his lifespan to improve his physical and mental health. Buzz. With the depletion of his lifespan, he can feel astonishing changes in his physical and mental health. He, who was originally somewhat thin, now has a height of a few centimeters, reaching 1.85 meters, and his muscles are clearly defined, full of impact. With the improvement of spirit, the temperament emanating from the whole person is somewhat different, with bright and lively eyes. After a moment, Lin Ye stretched comfortably. The crackling sound of thunder emanating from one's body. The feeling of improving my strength is really amazing. A strong sense of power. Lin Ye clenched his fist, eager to try, wanting to see how strong his current strength is. Physical constitution is related to strength, defense speed, and recovery ability, while mental state is related to reaction ability and thinking ability. Of course, there are other wonderful uses. Now his physical and mental health have reached 30, which is twice as much as an ordinary person. This is not as simple as 1 + 1, even top athletes are nothing in front of him. I'll go out for dinner and try my strength later. Lin Ye smiled excitedly. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 1,180 years, constitution. 30, spirit. 30, portable space. This upgrade has consumed 160 years of lifespan and is still acceptable. He nodded. Each increase in 11.20 attributes requires a lifespan of 2 years, and every increase in 21.30 attributes requires a lifespan of 3 years. Therefore, this increase has consumed a total of 160 years. So next is the highlight. Lin Ye's eyes lit up, excitedly taking out the cultivation method and demon fruit. Open the awakening method and cultivation method for seeing and hearing color dominance and armed color dominance. Because the domineering aura cannot be awakened through cultivation, it is not recorded above. He quickly finished reading it and then his heart twitched. Awakening to the dominance of seeing and hearing colors and armed colors. 80-year lifespan deduction. With the deduction of lifespan, he instantly felt a difference. The world seemed to have become much clearer in his eyes. Even he could clearly hear the sound coming from the next door, wonderful music, as if there were also the sound of waves. Besides, he can feel an additional energy in his body. Is this the power of seeing and hearing colors and armed colors? It's really amazing. Lin Ye's mind twitched, and a hint of black and gold armed color rose up in his hand, very few, only covering one finger at most. He forcefully poked the wall with his armed hardened fingers, leaving a small hole on the wall, but his fingers did not feel any pain. Not bad, after the dominance increases, there's no need to be afraid of knives and guns. He nodded in satisfaction. I don't know how long it takes to awaken the domineering color and domineering aura. Since the dual color dominance has awakened, it is natural to gather all the 3 color dominants. Then he checked the lifespan required to awaken the dominance of the dominant color. 200-year lifespan. A lifespan of 200 years. It's okay. Now with a lifespan of over 1,000 years, he has a lifespan of 200 years, but he is not too distressed. Awakening the domineering and domineering colors. 200-year lifespan deduction. Buzz. With the deduction of lifespan, an invisible wave filled with a sense of oppression quickly surged out of his body and spread around him. At this moment, in the luxurious suite next door, a man and a woman who were originally exercising on the sofa suddenly stopped and froze there, then their eyes rolled white and fell down. Bang bang. On the other hand, Lin Ye, who successfully awakened the domineering aura of the tyrant, didn't feel much. After all, there was no reference point, and he didn't know how powerful the domineering aura was. Later, he consumed his lifespan and learned Dragon Claw Fist and Navy 6 styles. A total of 80 years of lifespan were consumed. The next thing left is this demon fruit. Lin Ye turned his gaze to the round demonic fruit with spiral tiger stripes inside the wooden box. How long does it take to eliminate the side effects of devil's fruit? Eliminating the side effects of devil fruit requires a lifespan of 100 years quickly, Goldfinger gave a reply. That's okay, let's eliminate it. Deduction from 100-year lifespan buzz. A faint light flashed over the demon fruit and quickly disappeared. Lin Ye picked up the demon fruit and took a bite. Click, well, it's okay. After eliminating the side effects, there's no more of the flavor mentioned in the anime. It's good. Crispy, watery, a bit like snow pear. Then he divided the whole demon fruit 3 times and quickly finished it all. Then my mind moved. I saw his body rapidly expand and grow hair. In less than 2 seconds, it had transformed into a head that was 3.5 meters long, reaching a height of 2 meters. It had a burly physique, muscular lines full of impact, and a pair of sharp tiger eyes that were as domineering as possible. Roar. A stirring roar of a tiger echoed through the room, and a sound wave could be clearly seen spreading in all directions in the air. Bang bang bang, some cups and glass that were close were shattered one after another. Then he entered the form of a human beast. Transformed into an orc with a tiger head and a human body that was 2.5 meters tall, with a long tiger tail swaying behind him. So strong. Lin Ye sighed. Undoubtedly, it is the devil's fruit that everyone wants to eat, and the fastest way to enhance strength. With a thought, he opened the property panel. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 800 years, constitution. 60, 120 animal form, spirit. 30, talent. Dominant color dominance. Junior, seeing color dominance. Junior, armed color dominance. Junior, ability. Animal series, cat fruit, colorful giant tiger form, unawakened, skills. Dragon claw fist. Junior, Navy 6 styles. Junior, portable space, eating this demon fruit actually increased my basic physical attributes by 30 points, and even reached 120 in human and animal form. This is too strong. If awakened. Wouldn't that be stronger? Lin Ye looked at his attribute panel and his eyes lit up. That's amazing. Right now, most guns can't hurt me, can they, little Superman? Next, I will sell the lifespan, which will be much safer. He slightly raised the corner of his mouth. Life expectancy merchants not only accept life expectancy, but also sell life expectancy. Just because he didn't have this strength before, for safety reasons, he didn't sell his lifespan in exchange for money. Instead, I mortgaged over 1 million yuan of my domestic house and added some of my savings to purchase a large amount of supplies. Now that you have the strength, you naturally don't have to rely on this method to make money anymore. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. 1 year life selling 100 million. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day. Yangqing Airport. Lin Ye walked out of the station and, with the sound of handsome men, got on a taxi and drove away. Find a hotel to put down your luggage and then leave the hotel. Zhangzhe Manor. Dad, Dr. Lu has already said that you don't have any health problems, just take a break and you'll be fine. In a quaint and elegant room filled with a scholarly atmosphere, several figures stood by the bed, led by a middle-aged man wearing a simple T-shirt, with a burly figure and a calm and dignified face. He said to an elderly man with gray hair on the bed. "Yes, Dad, just feel at ease when you're old. With your destiny, it's not a problem to live for another 10 or 20 years. Right, how? Another middle-aged man wearing a suit and gold-rimmed glasses said to a young man next to him, blinking in secret. "Ah, that's right, Dad is right. Grandpa, don't think so much. Doctors say it's okay, then it's okay." Zhang Hao nodded heavily. The old man in bed listened to their words, his wrinkled face propped up with a smile, his sunken eyes flickering with a faint glow, a feeling that they were about to extinguish at any moment. "You guys, old man, can I not know about my own body? I don't have a serious illness, but I don't have much time," Zhang Honghong weakly said. Upon hearing these words, the expressions on the three faces froze. "Do you want to live for another 10 years? At this moment, a sound came from the direction of the window. "Who?" Zhang Tingjing frowned and shouted coldly, looking over there. A figure wearing a V-shaped enemy team mask jumped in from the window. Clack. Lin Ye came to them. "What kind of person are you?" Zhang Tingjing looked at him solemnly and asked with dignity. As the current ruler of the Zhang family, it is necessary to have a calm demeanor in times of crisis, and he has never seen anything big. "I am a lifespan merchant," Lin Ye said with a smile. "Life expectancy merchant." Zhang Tingjing and Zhang Luyuan exchanged a glance. "That's right, as long as you have money, you can buy lifespan from me. The scammers are all deceiving us. The Zhang family is here. Do you know that with just one phone call from me, you can't leave here?" Zhang Luyuan pushed his gold-rimmed glasses and looked at him coldly, saying. "I don't believe it." Lin Ye shook his head. "You." Lin Luyuan wanted to take out his phone. "All right, Luyuan." At this moment, Zhang Honghong spoke up. "Dad. Grandpa." The three of them looked over. Zhang Honghong looked at him, his sunken eyes seeming to see through anything, and a slight smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. "How much does a year's lifespan cost?" "Dad, he's clearly a scammer." Zhang Luyuan frowned and said. However, Zhang Honghong didn't say anything, his eyes still fixed on Lin Ye. Lin Ye's eyes under the mask smiled. "A lifespan of 100 million years. If Sabo and Dorag hear about this price, they will definitely hit the table. Your special cat gave us 1,000 kilograms of vegetables with a 1-year lifespan and sold them for 100 million. According to the monetary ratio, this price differs by at least tens of thousands of times. Black-hearted merchants are not as black as him. 100 million. Zhang Honghong's turbid eyes showed a yearning expression. He is already over 80 years old and has served in the military before. But he suffered a lot of hidden injuries, so he was in his 80s, but his body was even worse than some elderly people in their 100s. He already felt that he couldn't hold on for long. If I could live another year, I might even see my great-grandson born. Dad. Tingjing, transfer it to him. Zhang Honghong regained his senses and looked at his eldest son Zhang Tingjing, saying. Zhang Tingjing nodded without saying anything and looked at Lin Ye. "We have money in the Zhang family. Although selling lifespan sounds absurd, my dad thinks, I'll give it to you. But if it's fake, don't blame me, Zhang Tingjing, for being ruthless." Lin Ye nodded and said, "Don't worry, you won't regret it. Give me your account." Switzerland anonymous account. Then he mentioned the account he entrusted someone to handle when he was abroad. Zhang Tingjing made a phone call and went out. After a moment. "The money has passed." Zhang Tingjing put away his phone and looked at him calmly. Lin Ye is currently unable to check the account balance, but he believes that Zhang Tingjing will not refuse to transfer. If it really doesn't turn, then it's fun. He didn't speak and came to the bedside, grabbing Zhang Honghong's dry and weak hand. What are you doing? Zhang Luyuan and Zhang Hao looked anxious. However, he was stopped by Zhang Tingjing and shook his head. Lin Ye didn't care about their attitude and lost a year to Zhang Honghong. Buzz. Zhang Honghong's thin and pale face suddenly turned red, and his body regained some flesh. His cloudy eyes also became bright, and his originally white hair turned a bit black at this moment. This. Zhang Tingjing and the others who witnessed this scene were all stunned and incredulous. The world's light suddenly shattered. Their father and grandfather, who were wandering through the gates of hell, surprisingly turned pale and looked very energetic, just like the old man who often exercised in the park. Dad, how do you feel? Zhang Tingjing was the first to react and squatted in front of Zhang Honghong, grabbing his hand and urgently asking. Zhang Luyuan and Zhang Hao, father and son, also regained their senses and gathered around, anxiously watching. Zhang Honghong, who was originally just a dead horse serving as a living horse doctor, now had an excited expression on his face. Old man I feel great. It's great. Zhang Honghong spoke excitedly and then sat up, his body becoming very agile. Even if Zhang Tingjing wanted to help, he didn't need to. This scene made Zhang Tingjing even more shocked. Looking at Lin Ye, his eyes narrowed to the size of pinholes. All right. Really good. Zhang Honghong stood up, felt his body, and said with great certainty. Then look at Lin Ye. Thank you for keeping me alive for another year, old man. Enough, it's enough for the old man to see his great-grandson born in the coming year. His grandson Zhang Hao couldn't help but blush when he heard these words. Is this grandpa's wish? It seems that he needs to find a girlfriend and get married and pregnant within these 2 months in order to have a child within a year. Dad, how can 1 year be enough? You can still live for at least 10 years. Right, sir. Zhang Tingjing looked at Lin Ye with a hint of anticipation and unease. He was afraid that Lin Ye would say that his lifespan could only increase by at most 1 year. Fortunately, things are developing for the better. As long as the money is in place, a 10-year lifespan is not a problem. Lin Ye smiled and said. Sir, then give my dad another 9 years and I'll have someone transfer the money to you. Zhang Tingjing said happily. No, Tingjing. The group still needs capital turnover, so there's no need to waste this money on me, the old man. Zhang Honghong said in a deep voice. Dad, you founded the Lin Group. Without you as the pillar of support, what's the use of having more funds? And how can this be called waste? You're my dad, I'm your son. Another thing is, I'll give this money with my own money. Zhang Honghong said seriously. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Get 1 billion and create a chat system. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 10 minutes later. Lin Ye once again earned 900 million yuan. The transaction is completed, and I should leave now, he said with a smile as he looked at Zhang Honghong. With this huge sum of money, he can now buy more supplies to harvest more lifespan in the world of One Piece. Sir, please wait a moment. Zhang Tingjing quickly spoke up. Lin Ye raised an eyebrow and looked at him. Is there anything else? Sir, could you please leave a contact information? Zhang Tingjing asked nervously. Because Lin Ye's ability is really terrifying. The person whose life was about to come to an end is now 10 years younger, and their hair is almost indistinguishable from white. If not carefully examined, his father would be like a middle-aged person at this moment. He stood with his father like a pair of brothers. If a person with such ability doesn't leave a contact information, he will definitely regret it. Upon hearing his words, Lin Ye's eyes flashed with a brilliant light. The Revolutionary Army needs his contact information, and the Zhang family also needs his contact information. Perhaps he should spend his lifespan creating a system specifically designed for communication. How many years of lifespan does it take to create a communication system? He asked in his mind. Creating a separate chat system requires a lifespan of 100 years, adding contacts requires a lifespan of 1 year each. Creating a group chat system requires a lifespan of 500 years, while adding contacts requires a lifespan of 2 years each, so expensive. And there will be additional charges. Lin Ye widened her eyes and exclaimed in shock. The chat system can connect with all worlds, so it's like this. I said, how could it be so expensive? Upon hearing this explanation, he breathed a sigh of relief. This is still worth it, connecting with the world, which is similar to the golden finger of some books, except that red envelopes and the like cannot be given. Create a separate chat system, he thought for a moment before saying. Now he doesn't need a group chat system, it's not very useful. Unless there is a real need for him to act as an intermediary, it is not too late to build again when collecting intermediary fees. Deduction from 100-year lifespan. With the deduction of lifespan, a prestige-like interface appears. However, there is only one category above, which is contacts. The contact section is still empty. If adding contacts, does the other party also have this interface? Lin Ye asked curiously. Nicknames can be set, and the contact interface can be displayed in any communication app of the other party, without being affected by the network. That's fine. Lin Ye nodded, then his mind moved and he looked at Zhang Tingjing. My contact information is already in your authority. Ah. Upon hearing these words, Zhang Tingjing couldn't help but be taken aback. When was it in my authority? He quickly took out his phone and opened it. I saw a contact person on the WeChat homepage who had already been placed on the top. He saw the nickname above at a glance. After all, it was too familiar. Lifetime merchant this. Zhang Tingjing's eyes widened and he was deeply moved, his previous composure completely disappeared. He can be 100% certain that there was absolutely no such authority in the past. Because he remembers every person in the reputation clearly, and there are no more than 100 friends in total. Now Lin Ye's prestige has not only appeared among his friends, but has even been elevated. What kind of magic is this? He swallowed his saliva. I feel a hint of awe towards the masked man in front of me. This ability, combined with the ability to grant lifespan, is truly terrifying. We can only have deep friendship and not offend. A hint of determination flashed in his eyes, and he gritted his teeth. Take a deep breath. I see it, sir. Sir, I have one more question. Zhang Tingjing looked at him with a hint of awe in his eyes and asked. Say. It's like this, I don't know. If someone else asks about my dad, can they tell him? Zhang Tingjing asked with some nervousness. Lin Ye raised an eyebrow. Then, on second thought, it would be great if someone were to recruit clients for themselves, without having to put in so much effort to investigate the wealthy. And from beginning to end, his goal was only to become wealthy. Sure. If you perform well, your Zhang family can become my spokesperson. Lin Ye said lightly. Thank you, sir. Upon hearing these words, Zhang Tingjing expressed his gratitude excitedly. This spokesperson is not the kind of celebrity endorser for products. As Lin Ye's spokesperson, in the future, if others want to purchase lifespan, they must go through their Zhang family. There are countless hidden benefits hidden within this. Just networking is worth it. If you have anything, just contact me directly. After Lin Ye finished speaking, he shaved his head and disappeared into place, leaving only a gust of strong wind sweeping through the crowd. The faces of the 4 people in the room were once again shocked. Long silence. Ting Jinglian Xiaohao, you must keep this matter hidden in your heart. Even if someone wants to purchase lifespan, they must be fully prepared and not exposed to the public. And we in the Zhang family must also be careful. We cannot be complacent just because we have become the spokesperson for the master. The wood is beautiful in the forest, and the wind will destroy it. Zhang Honghong spoke solemnly as he looked at the three of them and said. The three of them regained their senses and nodded heavily. Don't worry, Dad, Grandpa, we know. Sir, if you give us this opportunity, our Zhang family will definitely seize it. Well, as long as you understand in your heart. And on the other side. After leaving the Zhang family estate, Lin Ye changed into a new outfit and returned to the hotel. Who got rich? Lin Ye, who had lifted his mask, lay directly on the big bed, excited. I didn't expect to earn 1 billion directly this time. In exchange for millions of so much powerful strength, there is still 1 billion yuan left, and there are still hundreds of years left to live. This can no longer be described as windfall profits. However, it is also possible to trade lifespan. If someone else were to operate it, it is estimated that they would gain more benefits than they would. However, these 1 billion yuan cannot be used domestically. We still need to go abroad or find someone to wash the money away. But I don't need to use any money domestically for now. I'll keep the 1 billion yuan in Swiss banks and use it directly to buy goods overseas. Lin Ye pondered. There's no way, there are too many restrictions in China. He doesn't dare to expose too much, he would rather trouble a little now than trouble in the future. And it's still too slow for me to purchase goods alone. Now that I have money, I can definitely hire someone to help me with things abroad, even in Xinjiang. Otherwise, if I keep running around, it's still me who's tired. His eyes sparkled brightly. I have made up my mind to go to Xinjiang in the next few days and invite someone to purchase various supplies for me there. Then, with a thought, summon the attribute panel. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 690 years, constitution. 60, 120 animal form, spirit. 30, talent. Dominant color dominance. Junior, seeing color dominance. Junior, armed color dominance. Junior, ability. Animal series, cat fruit, colorful giant tiger form, unawakened, skills. Dragon claw fist. Junior, Navy 6 styles. Junior, portable space chat system. There is still so much lifespan, let's improve our strength again. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Understanding the Return of Life, Top-Tier Armed Colorful Dominance. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Dragon Claw Fist has been elevated to the top level. Upgrading Dragon Claw Fist to the top level requires a lifespan of 26 years. Should it be increased? Upgrade. Buzz. As the command was given, a black and golden light flashed through his hands, and the flowing light spun. You can see that his fingers have become a bit longer, his skeleton has become a bit thicker, and his nails have become sharper, as if they have turned into steel, like real dragon claws. Is this the top-level Dragon Claw Fist? Lin Ye raised his hands and thought for a moment. I saw his hand follow his heart and directly form the shape of a dragon claw. Even though it has not yet covered its armed aura, it still looks extremely hard, as if it can scratch through everything. Shoo! He swung fiercely and grabbed onto the mattress. Puff! He suddenly grabbed a big hole in the mattress. The improvement of Dragon Claw Fist has caused my fingers to undergo transformation, and now it shouldn't be a problem for my fingers' thinner steel plates to penetrate directly. Not bad, the value of the 26-year lifespan spent. Lin Ye nodded in satisfaction. His current Dragon Claw Fist, if not considered armed and domineering, is definitely stronger than Sabo's. Of course, if it's more domineering than armed colors, that's not enough. His armed aura is only at the beginner level, while Sabo's has at least reached the advanced level. Upgrade the Navy's Type 6 to the top. He continued to give orders. Upgrading the Navy Type 6 to the top level requires a lifespan of 156 years. Will it be increased? Yes. Without hesitation, directly improve. Buzz. As the sound fell, a strong airflow surged out of his body, sweeping open. A faint white light flowed through his body, lifting his body, while a large amount of Naval 6-style knowledge surged into his mind and was absorbed by him. After a moment, his body height has once again increased by a few points, reaching 1.9 meters, exuding a strong sense of pressure, and his muscle lines have become more perfect. Navy's Type 6 has been elevated to the top level, understanding the mysteries of Type 6. Return of life. Oh, surprisingly, I automatically realized that life has returned. Lin Ye was pleasantly surprised. Returning to life is a miraculous skill. Pirate, the reason why Wang Lufei can always do sit-ups and defeat Teacher Akai is because of his ability to return to life. The return of life, which was unconsciously cultivated by Cap from a young age, gave Wang Lufei terrifying endurance. What he usually eats can be converted into energy and stored in his body, and he can also quickly digest food. The reason why Wang Lufei can eat so much is because of this. And after eating, as long as he thinks, he can instantly digest his big belly. Like CP9 and Cap, they will all return their lives, which is very terrifying. Not bad, not bad. With a lifespan of over 100 years, it not only elevates the Navy's Type 6 to the top level, but also comprehends the concept of returning life. It's really worth it. The uncontrollable smile on Lin Ye's lips. The top-level Navy Type 6 also greatly improved his physical fitness. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 508 years, constitution. 800 human animal form, spirit. 30, talent. Dominant color dominance. Junior, seeing color dominance. Junior, armed color dominance. Junior, ability. Animal series, cat fruit, colorful giant tiger form, unawakened, skills. Dragon claw fist. Top, Navy 6 styles. Top, life return. Junior, portable space chat system, hush. My physical fitness has actually reached 200, which has more than doubled. Looking at his current attributes, Lin Ye couldn't help but take a cold breath. Although he felt the improvement in his physical fitness after the promotion of Dragon Claw Fist and Navy 6 styles to the top, he did not expect to see so much improvement. The physical fitness has reached 200, even transforming into a human animal form, and has increased by 800, a four-fold increase. If my current strength were placed in the world of the Pirate King, even if I couldn't compare to the 7 martial seas, I would still be stronger than some weak captains in the Imperial Regiment, right? Lin Ye's eyes lit up with excitement. The feeling of improving his strength is really amazing, making him unable to stop. There are still 500 years of lifespan left, and it can still be improved. How many years lifespan would it take to elevate the Devil Fruit to Awakening? Upgrading the Devil Fruit to Awakening requires a lifespan of 500 years. Is this an increase? No improvement. Lin Ye refused directly. Just kidding, if he were to improve, he would have 8 years left in his lifespan. According to his idea, he should at least have a guaranteed lifespan of several decades, so that even if this golden finger disappears, it won't have no lifespan to survive. I originally thought there would be a lifespan of hundreds or thousands of years, but I didn't expect that there would be so many things that need to be consumed to improve lifespan. It's not enough. Lin Ye shook her head and felt extremely poor now. We need to continue working hard to earn a lifespan. Enhance the dominance of armed colors to the top level. In the world of One Piece, the most practical and powerful ability is still domineering. While his physique may not be considered powerful, if he elevates his armed color domineering to the top level, his combat power will undergo earth-shattering changes. His specific strength cannot be determined by his physical condition. With the support of top-notch armed color and domineering aura, his Navy 6 styles and Dragon Claw Fist will become even more terrifying. Even against Kuei, he has confidence in being able to fight. Upgrading the dominance of armed colors to the top level requires a lifespan of 310 years. Is it possible to increase it? Lin Ye raised an eyebrow, but it was not surprising. After all, the top level of armed color dominance is so powerful. 99.99% of people in the One Piece world do not have the top level of armed color dominance. It can be said that this level of armed color dominance is also rare on the sea. On the contrary, a lifespan of 310 years can elevate the dominance of armed colors to the top level, which he thinks is very valuable. Upgrade. Buzz. As his voice fell, a terrifying black and gold wave surged out of his body, sweeping towards various spaces, forming terrifying black and gold lightning bolts in the air. Emitting a terrifying aura, as if the entire space was torn apart. But the momentum comes quickly and goes quickly. In just a few seconds, the room returned to tranquility. Who, so powerful? Lin Ye exhaled a mouthful of turbid air, and his eyes sparkled with sharp light. Raise your hand and think for a moment. Buzz. I saw the armed and powerful aura that had already disappeared into my body resurface, forming a small black and gold long sword, which quickly changed under his thoughts. Knives, towers, cats, dogs, tigers, dragons' armed colors are like balloons, fabricated by him. This is the top-notch armed color dominance, with unparalleled control, hardening, wrapping, external release, and internal destruction, which he can easily use now. No wonder Teacher Kai said that being domineering is the existence that transcends everything. TSK, that's true. Lin Ye's mouth curved slightly, and he now understood the meaning of this sentence. Now his armed style is domineering, and apart from nuclear weapons, other attacks may not be able to be defeated. Very terrifying. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Strength greatly increased, Black Rhinoceros Fruit Jumping Fruit. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. After enhancing his ability to play with armed colors, he elevated his level of seeing and hearing color dominance and king color dominance to intermediate level. His lifespan is only 88 years left. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 88 years, constitution. 300, 900 human animal form, spirit. 100, talent. Overlord color overlord. Intermediate, herd color overlord. Intermediate, armed color overlord. Top, ability. Animal series, cat fruit, colorful giant tiger form, unawakened, skills. Dragon claw fist. Top, Navy 6 styles. Top, life return. Junior, portable space chat system once returned to before liberation. But it's too valuable. Lin Ye sighed happily. In just a few days, if we go to the world of the Pirate King again, our strength may double a few times. In the next few days, he will set off for Xiangjiang. I asked them to find an assistant at the head hunting company in Xiangjiang and opened a trading company. Although it's just a leather bag company, it's enough to purchase supplies. Under the management of the assistant, a large amount of supplies were purchased, including vegetables, fruits, and various daily necessities such as clothing. Time flies by quickly. 20 days later. One Piece World. Baldigo. Within the Revolutionary Army base. Haven't you heard from Mr. Lin yet? Dorag asked Sabo in front of him as he processed the documents. No. Sabo shook his head. During this period, they have been following and investigating the news about Lin Ye, but have not found any information. However, because of that batch of vegetables and fruits, their development speed has increased a bit. During this period, they are preparing to liberate the kingdom of Santorua and require a large amount of supplies, so they want to find Lin Ye and buy some food. Leader, Mr. Lin Ye has appeared. At this moment, Barney Joe quickly ran in and exclaimed in a hurry. Dorag stopped reading the document and looked at Barney Joe at the door. Please come over, Mr. Lin Ye, he said. Sabo, go ahead. Yes, leader. Sabo nodded and retreated. In less than a few minutes, Lin Ye walked in under the leadership of Sabo. Mr. Lin, long time no see. Dorag saw Lin Ye with a gleam in his eyes, then stood up with a smile and walked over. Hello Mr. Dorag, I have heard a lot about you. Lin Ye saw Dorag and also smiled. The Revolutionary Army established by Dorag is one of the few forces in the world that is considered by ordinary people, and Dorag is also one of the few strong individuals who want to change the world. He still has a good impression of Dorag. Mr. Lin, please take a seat. During this period, my Revolutionary Army has been waiting for your arrival, and finally it has arrived. Dorag greeted with a smile. Lin Ye sat down on the sofa and smiled. It seems that Mr. Dorag is ready for his lifespan. Well, we are planning to purchase 200 tons of fruits and 500 tons of vegetables this time. Upon hearing this number, Lin Ye's eyes lit up instantly. This is a big deal. If achieved, but with a lifespan of over 2,300 years, it would be huge. But we're not prepared with that much lifespan, so we want to trade it with devil's fruit. Dorag paused for a moment and said with a hint of embarrassment. Devil's fruit. Lin Ye raised an eyebrow. Well, a black rhinoceros fruit from the animal series, and a jumping fruit from the superhuman series. Black rhinoceros fruit jumping fruit. His eyes flickered with a faint light. If the jumping fruit doesn't produce what he expected, it should be similar to the strength fruit, increasing jumping ability. It's a bit like a spring fruit, but definitely stronger in jumping than a spring fruit. Sure, these two demon fruits are the same as last time, both are 50 tons of vegetables, a total of 100 tons. He regained his senses and looked at Dorag, saying. Anyway, he can eliminate the side effects of demon fruits, eat multiple fruits, and be compatible with multiple abilities, so there's no need to worry about wasting them. Thank you, Mr. Lin. Dorag listened and nodded with a smile. He is very satisfied with this transaction, although if he sells the devil fruit, it can sell Pele for 200 million or even more. But such a large quantity of vegetables is difficult to buy, and transportation is not worth it at all. Trading two demon fruits for so much is worth it. After all, the effects of animal and ordinary superhuman races are indeed limited, so it's better to supplement the soldiers with some nutrients. Everything else is paid for using their lifespan, right? Lin Ye smiled and looked at Dorag, asking. Well, yes. Dorag nodded. Okay, do you need anything else? I have clothes and some other items here, including hair washing, bathing, and even makeup and skin care. Ah. Dorag couldn't help but twitch at the corner of his mouth as he listened to these words. Buy again if needed in the future. Does he think he has lived too long to buy these things with his lifespan? Vegetables and fruits can be said to be difficult to acquire, but other things can hold on and are not essential. Can I buy some, leader? At this moment, Keela, who was peeking at the door, said cautiously. Everyone looked over. I saw the door open and a person wearing a pink dress and short skirt, with a pair of round, straight, and long legs under the skirt. They were also wearing black knee socks, short orange hair, and a small hat with goggles. Under the hat was a delicate and lovely face. Although she didn't put on makeup, her little face was white with a hint of red, looking very cute. Kurla, you're back. Dorag looked at the little girl and smiled. Leader, I have just returned and would like to report back to you. Kurla's eyes curved into crescents and she smiled. Well, then let's take a few days off. Yes, leader. Keela responded happily and then looked at Lin Ye, with a hint of curiosity in her eyes. Lin Ye was also looking at her, with a hint of surprise in his eyes. This little girl is quite good looking, standing around 160 in height, but her body shape ratio should be 6.5 to 3.5. Her large and long legs are very eye-catching, even better than the little sister who has had her beauty filters on Douyin and has lost weight by pulling her legs. Mr. Lin, can I buy some clothes and makeup skincare products from you? Keela felt a bit embarrassed in front of outsiders, and her cheeks blushed slightly. Sure, but we need to pay for the lifespan. Lin Ye regained his senses and said with a smile. Although those things are not worth money, they are also cross-border goods, and their lifespan is not excessive, right? I know. Kurla nodded. Okay, then I'll take it out here for you to see. Okay. Kurla nodded, not caring that others in the room were also present. Lin Ye waved his hand. On the table, some clothes appeared first. When they saw these clothes, Dorag, Sabo, and Bonnie Joe first opened their eyes wide, and then their faces turned red, with 2 rows of nosebleeds flowing out. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. 2000 Life Beads. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Cough cough, cough cough, well, I'll go out and breathe some air, Sababani Joe, but gather the soldiers. Dorag lifted his head and casually wiped away all the blood from his nose, turning around and saying. Ah. Yes, leader, we're going now. Sababani Joe reacted and quickly moved his eyes, turning around and walking outside. Mr. Lin, this. Kurla's face was also flushed, and she shyly skimmed the clothes on the table. Miss, you should know that Lin is a businessman, and for merchants, he sells whatever clothes make the most money. These are the most popular clothes for girls, even boys will fall in love with them. Lin Ye spoke solemnly, looking at Keela seriously. Upon hearing this explanation, Kurla nodded in agreement and thought to herself, as a businessman pursuing profit, why would he think so much? It's because I overthink myself. Thank you, Mr. Lin. Let me take a look. Keela gratefully said to him. Well, just look around. If you don't like it, I'll switch to another batch. Thank you. Kurla nodded happily. Then look at the clothes on the table. Pick up a short skirt that is hollowed out and has limited fabric. She, who was originally not very shy, saw this short skirt and thought about the effect it had on her body. Her face turned red and even her skin emitted smoke. However, because Lin Ye was watching here, she felt embarrassed to say anything and could only pretend to be calm and continue to look. There are all kinds of internal clothing, stockings, and black, white flesh. 10 minutes seemed to have passed, and Keela's head was sweating. Mr. Lin, that's all. That's all. Kurla shyly pointed at the clothes taken out next to him, a little hesitant to look him in the eye and said. Is that all? Do you want to see anything else? Lin Ye looked at her eagerly. No need. Kurla shook her head. If she continued to watch, she was afraid that she would faint. Okay. Then let's take a look at skincare products and cosmetics again. Okay. Then, he took out skincare products and cosmetics for her to choose from. Quickly, they each picked out a set. How many years do these have to live? Keela asked nervously. I'll give you a discount on how cute you look, 3 years of lifespan. Lin Ye smiled and said. For him, these things don't add up to 10,000 yuan, and for a 3-year lifespan, he earns countless times. Okay. Kelrin breathed a sigh. It's okay, not very expensive. A 3-year lifespan is not much for someone of her age. And these clothes and cosmetics look much better than what she used before, and skincare products have never been seen anywhere else, making them look very high-end. Although she is not bad looking, which girl doesn't want to take good care of her outside in the sun and rain? Mr. Lin, how can I give you the lifespan? Keela asked in confusion. I'll take it. Lin Ye said, placing his finger on her forehead. Take away the 3-year lifespan. Of course, this can only be taken after the transaction is completed, otherwise it won't work. Release your hand and look at Kurla. Alright. Alright. Why don't you feel anything? Keela murmured with some confusion. Lin Ye smiled. The lifespan he took away, as long as the opponent's lifespan is not running out quickly, will have little impact. He will age at any time, and his physical function will decline at any time. He will only die when his lifespan is exhausted. Let's go out too. Oh, good. Kella regained consciousness and nodded awkwardly. The two of them walked outside. At this point, the revolutionary soldiers outside have already gathered. It is worth mentioning that this group of Revolutionary Army soldiers is clearly not the same as last time. Yes, if their lifespan were to be determined by them, they probably wouldn't be willing either. Lin Ye speculated that these Revolutionary Army soldiers should have been transferred from other places. After all, it has been almost a month since the last transaction, and there is this time. But if the Revolutionary Army continues like this, they won't be able to trade a few times. Looking at the Revolutionary Army below, a question suddenly came to his mind. The number of revolutionary soldiers is limited, which means their lifespan is limited. It's impossible to trade with him for most of their lifespan. By the way, can they help me collect my lifespan and then trade with me? The host can consume 100 years of lifespan to manufacture lifespan beads, which can replace the host's absorption and storage lifespan, and can be handed over to others for use. The lifespan inside the lifespan beads can only be taken out by the host. Upon hearing this answer, Lin Ye breathed a sigh of relief and raised the corner of his mouth. The problem has been resolved. Mr. Lin, we have a total of 1,500 warriors here, and these are 2 demon fruits, said Dorag next to us. Well, I will take it evenly. Lin Ye nodded and took the devil's fruit to collect, then disappeared into place with a razor. Dorag couldn't help but see a flash of surprise in his eyes when he saw this scene. Leader, did Mr. Lin just use the shaving technique from the 6 styles? Sabo exclaimed in surprise. Well, Mr. Lin's strength is not weak. Dorag nodded. He had previously worked in the Navy and was also proficient in the 6 styles. His proficiency was not low, and Dragon Claw Fist was developed by him using the finger gun in the 6 styles. He could see that Lin Ye's shaving was even better than his, and even better than anyone he had ever met. Leader, can Mr. Lin be the C? Barney Joe frowned and said in a deep voice. No, you forgot that there was a cultivation technique for the Navy's 6 styles in the last transaction. Dorag shook his head. It is impossible for a person from the Navy to be willing to trade with his Revolutionary Army and take out so many supplies for a lifetime. Although he was not sure what fruit power Lin Ye was, his aura told him that the other party had no ill intentions. That's enough. Mr. Lin's talent is also too terrifying. Barney Joe sighed. Although they were members of the Revolutionary Army, they also learned the naval technique of the Type 6, which is desirable and can greatly enhance their life-saving ability. So naturally, one knows the difficulty of cultivation. And Lin Ye quickly collected his lifespan. After 1 hour. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 2,224 years, constitution. 300 human animal form, spirit. 100, talent. Overlord color overlord. Intermediate, herd color overlord. Intermediate, armed color overlord. Top, ability. Animal series, cat fruit, colorful giant tiger form, unawakened, skills. Dragon claw fist. Top, Navy 6 styles. Top, life return. Junior, portable space chat system. Looking at the lifespan of the attribute interface, Lin Ye couldn't help but smile. With a lifespan of over 2,200 years, his strength can be greatly improved. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Top Class Overlord Colors and Dominance. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Folding the interface, he waved his hand. Bang bang bang. Piles of vegetables and fruits packed in large boxes appeared on the ground, forming towering mountains that looked very spectacular. The rich aroma of vegetables and fruits spreads. Let the revolutionary soldiers around brighten their eyes, sniff fiercely, and shout out the fragrance. Mr. Dorag, all 700 tons of vegetables and fruits are here. Can you give me your name? Lin Ye returned to Dorag's side and smiled. Okay. Dorag nodded with bright eyes, and then instructed Sabo to arrange for someone to count. By the way, Mr. Dorag, I have a business that I would like to collaborate with your Revolutionary Army on. Lin Ye smiled at him and said. Oh. I don't know what kind of business it is. Dorag asked curiously. Lin Ye's mind moved and consumed 100 years of lifespan, creating a lifespan bead. This is the lifespan bead, which the Revolutionary Army can use to trade with others to obtain lifespan. No matter what price you pay for the lifespan, I will charge you the price of 2 years lifespan and 1 ton of vegetables. For every 1,000 years of lifespan, in addition to vegetables, I can also give you an additional 1 year of lifespan. Upon hearing these words, Dorag's face couldn't help but show a look of shock. Surprise afterwards. This matter has enormous benefits for both him and the Revolutionary Army, not to mention its lifespan. This matter is convenient for their Revolutionary Army. Thank you very much, Mr. Lin, for choosing to cooperate with our Revolutionary Army. Dorag took the life ball and looked at him seriously, saying. Then I'll leave first and contact me if needed. Speaking, I added information about Dorag to the chat system. Dorag was momentarily stunned. A chat interface appeared in front of him. Mr. Lin, this is. He regained his senses and looked at Lin Ye. This is the way to contact me. If you want to trade anything in the future, you can contact me on it. Lin Ye smiled and said. Okay, Dorag suppressed his shock and nodded. Then his figure disappeared into place. Rog Town. On the bustling streets. A figure appeared out of thin air. It was Lin Ye who left the headquarters of the Revolutionary Army. He did not leave the world of One Piece, but instead spent his life here. As the starting town of One Piece, I naturally want to take a look and enhance my strength here. And there are still many items in his space that haven't been sold out, so he needs to find the next buyer. This is Log Town, it's pretty good. Watching the people coming and going, filled with the bustling streets, Lin Ye couldn't help but feel a sigh of emotion. In a world without a mobile phone, it is difficult to see such a scene in Log Town in reality. Even in rural towns, we can't see such scenes now. Then, he strolled around the town of Log, feeling the local customs and traditions. After wandering for an hour, I finally found a hotel to stay in. So next, it's time for consumption. In the room, Lin Ye sat on the sofa, waved his hand, and 2 wooden boxes appeared on the table. The wooden box was opened, and 2 demon fruits lay quietly inside. Eliminate the side effects of these 2 demon fruits. Eliminating the side effects of 2 demon fruits requires a lifespan of 200 years. Should we eliminate them? Eliminate. With a lifespan of 2,100 years, he can still afford to spend 200 years. Buzz. As the sound fell, a faint light flashed across the 2 demon fruits in front of him. Lin Ye raised the corner of his mouth and picked up the demon fruit one by one, eating it. In less than a few minutes, both demon fruits had entered his stomach, with no skin left. Then, with a thought, expand the properties panel. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 1924, Constitution. 350, 1000 Animal Form, Spirit. 100, Talent. Overlord Color Overlord. Intermediate, Herd Color Overlord. Intermediate, Armed Color Overlord. Top, Ability. Animal Series, Cat Fruit Colorful Giant Tiger Form, Unawakened. Animal Series, Rhinoceros Fruit Black Rhinoceros Form, Unawakened. Superman Series, Jumping Fruit, Unawakened. Skills. Dragon Claw Fist. Top, Navy 6 Styles. Top, Life Return. Junior, Portable Space Chat System Not bad, the physical fitness has increased by 50 again, and in human and animal form, it has reached 1000 physical fitness. How many years of lifespan does it take to elevate the domineering color to the top level? Lin Ye regained his senses and asked curiously. After all, it took 200 years to awaken the domineering aura of the Overlord color, and increasing the lifespan of the trumpet cannot be the same as seeing and hearing the armed color. Upgrading the domineering color to the top level requires a lifespan of 800 years. Is it possible to increase it so much? Upon hearing this price, even though he was wealthy, he couldn't help but secretly shudder. Good guy, you only need a lifespan of 310 years to upgrade your armed color dominance from beginner level to top level. The king color has been upgraded from intermediate to top, with a total of 8 million. Still poor. Lin Ye shook his head, but ultimately chose to improve. Deduction from 800-year lifespan buzz. With the deduction of lifespan, a terrifying aura of dominance spread out of his body and swept around him at an extremely fast speed. The busy employee boss in the hotel froze in place in the next second, his eyes wide open, filled with a look of fear, and then turned white and fell down. Not only hotels, but also pedestrians on the streets have fallen to the ground. A moment of inclination. The street was silent, and everyone fell to the ground. Even the entire town of Log is like this. Rog Town Naval Branch. In a smoky office, Smog, with his legs crossed and his upper body bare, was smoking and closing his eyes to rest. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and quickly stood up. All the hair on my body exploded. Staring intently towards the direction of the hotel. This kind of domineering color. Red-haired shanks. Or a white beard. Taking a deep breath, he took off his weapon with 10 hands, put on a cloak, and walked out. No matter who you are, we Smog the final say in Rogue Town. Smog walked out of the office and saw the Navy lying on the ground outside. Although his heart was trembling, he was not surprised. Although he is just a colonel, he has also come out of an elite training camp, seen many great pirates, and felt the power of a domineering aura. Faced with evil forces, his justice does not allow him to retreat. Lin Ye in the hotel was unaware of the consequences of enhancing his domineering color and aura. At this point, the dominant color fluctuation has disappeared. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 1124 years, Constitution. 350, 1000 Animal Form, Spirit. 600, Talent. Overlord Color Overlord. Top, Herd Color Overlord. Intermediate, Armed Color Overlord. Top, Ability. Animal Series, Cat Fruit Colorful Giant Tiger Form, Unawakened. Animal Series, Rhinoceros Fruit Black Rhinoceros Form, Unawakened. Superman Series, Jumping Fruit, Unawakened. Skills. Dragon Claw Fist. Top, Navy 6 Styles. Top, Life Return. Junior, Portable Space Chat System Qingming Outing in Happy Reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Top level of seeing, hearing, and coloring, modifying memory. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 600 points of spirit, a full 5-fold increase. Lin Ye looked at the attribute interface, his mouth curved upwards. I can't believe the benefits of reaching the top level of domineering color are so great, which is much greater than the enhancement of armed color domineering. You should know that when armed strength reaches its top level, it only increases its physical attributes by 100. The dominant color has increased by 500. It can be imagined how terrifying it is. Then he lifted his hand and thought for a moment. Buzz. Armed colors intertwined upwards. In addition, a black and red lightning also jumped on the arms that had already been covered with armed colors, spreading a terrifying aura of destruction. Hegemonic entanglement. Sure enough, it's powerful. I don't know how to compare it to divine avoidance. Lin Ye looked at his domineering aura entwining and murmured. He, who has elevated his domineering aura to the top level, is confident that his domineering aura is not inferior to that of the red-headed Shanks. However, divine avoidance was created by the pirate king Roger and is definitely very comprehensive. His combat experience cannot be compared to theirs, and it is uncertain which move is stronger than divine avoidance. If you have a chance to fight with the red-haired Shanks, you'll know. Let's continue to improve now. He shook his head and came to his senses. Elevate the aura of seeing, hearing, and color to the top level. It takes 300 years of lifespan to upgrade the aura of seeing and hearing to the top level. Is it possible to increase it? Upgrade. Buzz. As his voice fell, his mind suddenly became clear, and the entire scene of Log Town appeared in his mind. He could see every move of all creatures, even the breathing of the wind. Upgraded to the top level by the dominance of the sight, smell, and color, comprehend the memory modification of the extension of the dominance of the sight, smell, and color. Upon hearing this prompt, Lin Ye couldn't help but open his eyes wide and show a look of shock. Surprisingly, I have comprehended the extension of seeing, hearing, and color domineering. And it's still a memory modification. Having the aura of seeing, hearing, and color extending in the world of One Piece is also rare, such as listening to the sounds of all things, having a wide range of perception, foresight, and slowly changing the emotions of living beings. These are all extensions of the aura of seeing, hearing, and color. The powerful extension of his perception now is actually a memory modification. As the name suggests, it is the ability to modify memory. This is a very terrifying ability, not inferior to the top demon fruit abilities. I don't know to what extent I can achieve memory modification now. Lin Ye is very curious. But no one is testing it for him now, so he can only temporarily put it aside and try again when he has time. Now that the three colors dominance has been elevated to the top level, then the next step is the awakening of the devil fruit. His eyes sparkled brilliantly. The awakening of animal-type demon fruit can significantly enhance strength defense and vitality recovery, comparable to the indestructible small Chang. As long as it is not killed in a flash, the awakened animal-type demon fruit ability can quickly recover. Upgrade the animal series, cat fruit, and colorful giant tiger form to awakening. He instructed. Animal series, cat fruit, and colorful giant tiger form have been upgraded to awakening, requiring a lifespan of 500 years. Will this be improved? Yes. He still has a lifespan of 500 years, which can significantly improve his strength. What is a lifespan of 500 years? Buzz. As the sound fell and his lifespan was reduced, a terrifying and fierce aura rolled out of his body. Roar. A deafening roar of a tiger came from within, and a giant tiger phantom appeared in the air. Immediately after, his body autonomously entered the form of a half-orc, his skin turning red, and strands of black gas spreading out of his body, forming a long black flame cloud entwined around his shoulders. Make him look like a deity, emitting a terrifying aura. Is this the awakening of the devil's fruit? Lin Ye felt the changes in his body and had turned into a tiger with sparkling eyes. At this moment, he felt his physique was terrifyingly strong, and his previous self was afraid it would be difficult to resist his current form. Immediately after, he had a thought and the attribute panel appeared. Lin Ye, life expectancy. 324 years, constitution. 700, 2000. Awakened beast form, spirit. 700, talent. Overlord color overlord. Top, herd color overlord. Top, armed color overlord. Top, modified memory. Junior, ability. Animal series, cat fruit colorful giant tiger form, awakened. Primary, animal series, rhinoceros fruit black rhinoceros form, unawakened, Superman series jumping fruit, unawakened, skills. Dragon claw fist. Top, Navy 6 styles. Top, life return. Junior, portable space chat system just the awakening of a demon fruit has doubled my physical fitness, and now my physical fitness in this form has reached 2000, which is too terrifying. Lin Ye sighed. But the awakened demon fruit is actually only beginner level, so intermediate and later higher levels are much stronger. It seems that there is still a lack of lifespan. He shook his head, there were still too many abilities to improve, such as black rhinoceros fruit, jumping fruit, memory modification, and life return, all of which needed improvement. Too short of lifespan. Besides the Revolutionary Army, I must find a new channel for trading lifespan. Lin Ye's eyes sparkled as he pondered which powers in this world could enable him to trade a large amount of lifespan. As for scattered people, forget it, not to mention the small amount, I have to run around too slowly. Unless he realizes his life expectancy freedom and then goes to deal with some scattered people, it's still about the same. Woo-woo at this moment, the roar of a motorcycle came from outside, interrupting his thinking. Lin Ye raised an eyebrow. Smog. Are you looking for me? He was somewhat surprised. But as soon as he thought that the whole town of Rog had been knocked unconscious by his domineering aura, he understood why Smog came over. Suddenly, a bright light flashed through his eyes and the corner of his mouth rose. Exactly, you can try memory modification. That's it. At the entrance of the hotel, Smog rode his motorcycle to a stop, got off the motorcycle, held 2 cigars in his mouth, and looked up at the hotel in front of him with a serious expression. Although his domineering aura had long disappeared, his feeling told him that there was a strong man in this hotel. If nothing unexpected happens, it's the one who unleashes his domineering aura. The guys inside can come out now. He shouted coldly towards the hotel. Da-da-da-da-da. On the quiet street, the sound of footsteps coming from the hotel appeared very clear. Smog faced a formidable enemy, furrowed his brows, and his gaze was very serious. He took off his 10 hands, which were backed behind him. The smoke emitted from the mouth swirled around, like white snakes. Quickly, a figure appeared at the entrance of the hotel, and a clear and handsome face caught his eye. How young! Upon seeing this face, Smog's first thought came to mind with these 3 words. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.